in every ride.
Oh, hi. Oh, no. That's not funny, Tony. Is that January 6th?
January 6th.
Joan, is there an insurrection in your studio?
Yeah, there's an insurrection. Yeah, I've walked in unarmed with no plan.
Stop it. This is supposed to be the Christmas special, which I've renamed Is Christmas.
I forgot. I keep forgetting. You've already announced that you're disinterested in life, so I'm going to try not to talk about anything important.
Oh, wow. Passive aggressive, man.
Passive aggressive. My God.
Interested in life? What? I'm not interested in the news. Can't call that life.
Yeah. Hey, did you watch that video that I sent you? Where they were talking about that nothing ever happens.
Yes, I did. I love.
It's quite good, wasn't it?
Quite good, yeah. Well, I wonder how these YouTubers feel who do that. It's really happening now. They've really gone and done it. What is it? And so it begins. Oh, yeah. And so it begins for the how many times?
There's a YouTuber I watch he's a prepping channel, and I like his gear reviews and stuff like that. But he is every day. It's like, he always starts off Canadian Prepper. He's called.
It's your last warning.
And he's like, yeah, this is your World War III update. And then he'll go like this. God, you can't believe what I'm going to tell you. I've been a subscriber for about 2 years now, and every day, this is it. Any minute now, the nukes have got to start flying, you know. And
he is the Krusty the Clown of prepping. He's like, oh God, I got to do this again.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, hold on a minute. SIM card pin. You have one SIM card pin. Okay, let me see if this works. One attempt left. This could be serious.
Yeah, it's just like instead of the boiled frog, this is the frozen frog. He's gradually being frozen.
He doesn't look as jolly as he usually does. What's happened to him?
He's cold. Look, he hasn't got any pants on.
Well, put some pants on him.
That's not an extra belly button. That's his winkle.
That's what you tell all the girls, isn't it? Yeah, and he's cold. He looks cold. His belly button looks cold. He likes wine too. I don't know a lot about this Pepe character. Good evening to you, Jackie. Lovely to see you. And there are other lurkers and viewers available too.
For some reason.
Yes, it's very good of you to be here. Pepe likes to be naked too. This is like a dating profile for Pepe, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he's available.
I would swipe. No offense, but I'm going to swipe him left.
What we're gonna do next week, right? Is he's going to sit in the chair and I'm going to sit up there naked.
That's worth tuning in for. There's your Christmas present, everybody, or your Christmas box reinterpreted. Do you remember people used to call a Christmas present a Christmas box, like a tip that you would get at Christmas time in the UK? Christmas box. No.
How long ago was that?
Oh, I don't know. 17th century.
I tell you what, were you really into Christmas as a kid? Because I was thinking about this the other day in my family.
This is what we're going to talk about, right? Can we just put all these questions to everybody?
Well, it's a Christmas. It's a Christmas special.
It really is so special so far, and questions that we'll be asking at this very special time of year. When we have the phrase Christmas special, we should ask: is Christmas special anymore? Yes. What are our favourite carols? Which will be an interesting conversation because none have come immediately to mind. I do like singing. I'm not sure if I have a favourite carol. My
favourite is good. Well, when I was a kid, my favourite was.
Tony, not yet. What is the true meaning of Christmas? Because I want to ask you as a Christian. Was Christmas better when we were kids, which is what you were just about to ask? What were your best and worst presents? I've got a great answer for that, which is very 70s. And who has the best Christmas? Portugal,
Oh, I've got a
UK,
good
or
one for
USA?
worst. Oh my god.
Oh, really? Okay. So Carol of the Bells is T-Duck's favorite. It is pretty awesome, Carol of the Bells, isn't it? Do, 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 do. Doesn't sound so great on the ukulele, I wouldn't have thought. And Pepe likes government cheese. Finding out so much about this character tonight. Okay. So your favorite Carol, then? You've jumped straight in there.
Me?
Yes. Well,
Yeah. Well, no, I couldn't find it. I couldn't
yours.
find it because it's probably on VCR somewhere. But there's a tape of me. I must have been about 5 years old, and it's like in the school choir singing Good King.
Oh.
So Good King Wenceslas was my favorite, but it's really funny
Yeah.
because there's about 20 kids, but you can only hear me.
Oh,
And I'm like
so
right at the
always
front,
enthusiastic. Yeah.
busting it. I'm like, Good King Wenceslas, he went out on the feast of Stephen. You know that one?
You haven't really changed, I suppose, is the message there.
Yeah, it was just like that. But the best one, and I didn't even remember this, but I misheard the lyrics for
Excellent.
Silent Night. So which wasn't my favorite, but I thought I knew the words. It's the same thing. It was the song afterwards. And you can really, really hear me because I'm singing twice as loud as anyone else. And I'm like, what's the lyric? Yeah. Round. So I sing, round young virgin.
Who doesn't like a no? Yes. Oh, bless you. I saw that a Scottish lady said her partner, boyfriend, husband said he thought away in a manger was a wean in a manger, as a Scottish person would say, for years and years. So no strike on that one, on that last rendition. And Basal, good evening to you. Merry Christmas, Tony, and everyone. Oh, special treatment.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
Everyone else is just an everyone. I'm here too, Basal. Okay, so that's that's like Christmas memories and carols mixed up together. Are they still your favorites?
Well, Christmas Carol, I've always like it's funny actually because I was speaking to our good friend Gav, who doesn't seem to be here with us this evening. Yeah, but did you hear I said that? It was like
yeah, he's let himself down, he's let us down. Yeah.
He's let everyone down, let himself down. Yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah, we were talking about singing, and he said something to me about like if we played some music together. He said, unless you want to sing that, and then he said because he said talking about him, he said because I quite like singing, and I've said to him, well, I also quite like singing. The problem is nobody else likes my singing. That's the problem. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think we've had jokes of referring to that in previous weeks, but I don't think you should let it stop you. Definitely not.
Well,
I said it. T-Duck was having a little bit of a dig. Keep going, mate. Keep going. That little 5-year-old must be heard. I guess is my.
Good King Wenceslas, he went out on the. How is that a Christmas song? What is that even about? The Feast of Stephen? Who the hell was Stephen?
The Feast of Stephen is this time of year, I believe. And as I recall,
who was Stephen? There's no Stephen in the Bible.
Saint Stephen.
Saint Stephen. Come on.
Yes.
Of Stevenage.
Quite possibly, yeah. When you look back into these things, there are very holy meanings to what's become very prosaic in recent times, and that is the problem with Christmas.
Thank you, Jackie. Jackie says she loves my singing. She's deaf as a post.
Yeah. Damned by faint praise there. So yeah. Well, you're brave enough to record, to sing and record and put them out on YouTube. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. That comment just reminds me of once when I was about 30, and couldn't have been older than that because I quit smoking after that. But I'd gone into I think it was a petrol station or something, and I was buying a packet of cigarettes, and the woman behind the counter said, "Oh, can I have a look at your ID?" And I'm like, yeah, "Of course you can, no problem." Candidate to her, she put on these gigantic Coke bottle lens glasses. I thought, okay. Yeah. So a couple of seconds, I thought, oh,
yeah. Hello. Excellent. Squire of the Shire is also in. Good evening and happy Christmas all. Please feel free to answer these questions for yourselves as well. I think we should start with these.
Which one are we going to go with? What about what's your favorite carol and why?
No, well, okay. Well, I thought I just said what we might go with, which is what is the true meaning of Christmas? We've got to start there, haven't we?
That's a tough one, though, isn't it?
Well, not really. I don't think you're a Christian. How can it be a tough one if you're a Christian?
Well, okay, okay. I think the true meaning of Christmas is celebrating the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Yes. Which
Yeah.
the name of the festival might suggest, of
Yeah.
course. The Mass of Christ. Okay.
Yeah.
And it would appear that is not the spirit in which many continue to celebrate the festival all this time of year.
Yeah, it's now it's about making money, isn't it? How much money can we get from these people?
And there's a huge irony there, isn't there, in how Christ allegedly turned over the tables in the temple of the bankers, and how it ended up like this is a supreme irony. But that's not to stop any of us honoring the Lord Jesus Christ at this time of year and what that means to us. So, can you say more? How will you be doing that? How will you be doing that? And because you obviously you won't be eating turkey.
I won't be eating animals. I won't be sacrificing animals for peace and goodwill, because I'm going to also
see what you did
extend my peace and goodwill to animals as well.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, but apart from that,
but not potatoes and veggie burgers, eh? So I was just playing the part of an antagonistic kind of and triggered carnivore there.
Yeah.
The sort of thing you normally get in your comments on YouTube.
Yeah, that's next thing you'll have is eating bugs because of your mate Bill Gates.
There's no better way to celebrate Jesus than eating
bugs.
My
agenda. That's my agenda. I want you all eating bugs with Bill Gates.
We know that. We all
at the WEF. At the WEF.
Yeah.
With Keir
Starmer. You pretend to live in central Portugal, but we know that you're actually talking to us from the World Health Organization, and that is a carefully contrived.
I'm actually ChatGPT 7. Just between me and you.
Are actually that. Well, you're a busy guy answering questions. What happens whilst you're on the show then? Who answers all the questions that come in?
There's multiple instances of me. Of course. Believe it. Yeah.
You have achieved singularity.
I have achieved or multiplicity.
You've achieved multiplicity, which is the same thing, probably. I got drunk a few weeks ago. Confessions as well. I've not asked for these, but anyway, let's go. Got caught singing by my neighbours. So now I'm round there at least once a week. He plays guitar and gets drunk. I sing and get stoned. That sounds like a great community, doesn't it?
Getting caught drunk singing is better than getting caught with Henry. Like, what's his name last week?
There's not so much to explain in Casualty, is there? Sounds like a good time to me. I can't play bass. There you go. You do have a go though, T-Duck, to be fair, don't you? I think. Okay, so this is confession time. I can't play bass and I get drunk with my neighbor from Jackie there. So you won't be slaughtering animals. The season of goodwill will be extended to the beasts of the field, over which we have dominion and stewardship. And you're taking that as in a compassionate way.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Thanks for the answer.
Yeah, that was a bit like my something answer. It's like a puzzle.
Whatever you were saying, Carl,
I tell you, part of the problem is I'm legit bloody freezing because our doors won't open. We've got a house full of dogs this Christmas, and I mean that's awesome, but it's bloody cold, and I seem to be the only one who can. I seem to be the only one who knows how to put the fire on.
Hint. Okay. I like what you did there. If I could just delve into that for a moment, nothing to do with Christmas, but you obviously weren't listening to me. And when you're in that situation, let's go behind the scenes of a live stream duo, right? When you have not heard what I've said, but you've realized that I've asked you a question. How do you tend to play that? Do you think, what was his intonation? If I say yes here, that was probably going to be fine.
Well, the only problem is what was going through my head was about that guy who got
the Henry guy.
No, I got to save it. Save it.
Okay,
save it.
Save
it. Keep going. What are you asking?
Boa noite, Cambada from JMC. Nice to see you, JMC. JMC is moving among us more regularly. I can't remember what that particular question was, but I do want to pursue the thread of the true meaning of Christmas.
All right, and look, I haven't put a tree up. You obviously have got no Christmas decorations up either.
Not in the
So that's
kitchen, anyway. Not on this green screen. I haven't. No.
hey, that's what I could have done. Yeah.
Mm.
See, last year I forgot this because we have a Christmas tree jumper for Bessie, our dog, our little dog. She has a Christmas tree jumper. So I like to call her when I'm on any kind of live stream or listen. I go, Bessie, Bessie. She goes like she's got a little Christmas tree
Oh,
jumper on.
oh,
Yeah,
no.
but I've got to dig that out from somewhere.
Right. Okay. So I think we're struggling here. We're officially struggling. There's still to
Well,
find.
I'm not struggling. It's just you're stuck on the one I hadn't put much thought into because I thought it was too difficult. I had loads of really
stuck.
I had
You
loads of really
can't answer the
interesting
question.
questions.
Hold on. No. You can't answer the question, and it's me that's stuck here. Okay. All right. So would you like me to move on and stop
All right,
banging about
the true meaning of Christmas for
Yes.
me, okay?
Yes.
Peace and love and goodwill to other humans. I'm also extending that to animals.
Yeah.
By not having turkey, and I would just like everyone. I'm not forcing you to do anything. I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm just making a suggestion that this Christmas, instead of sacrificing and like peace, when you're sitting there making prayers about peace and goodwill, you could feel free to extend that to you see. As soon as I started talking about veganism, Carl gets stuck into the vodka. But this is the first time I've seen him drinking it
How else am I going to get through you
from a pint glass? Yeah.
How else? Here he goes. Where's my vodka?
He's got one in each hand. You see that? He's got one in each hand. Yeah, I'll have vodka with my vodka.
I've got one in that hand. And
Yeah.
I've got one in that hand. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
The magic of television.
Magic of television.
Yes.
Magic of television.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So there's that side of thing. The other thing we're trying not to do is get to like commercial. You know what I mean? Not.
Yeah, I do.
Not
Yeah.
go buy lots of junk. Although I tell you what, guys. Do you want to hear me have a moan about Portugal?
Well, haven't you got a YouTube channel for that?
Yeah, but listen, this is going live onto my channel. I'm earning money as we speak. I'm getting.
Hold on a minute. We have got a Ukraine supporting carnivore here who I think there's a lot in this. There's a lot in this sentence, isn't there? That's Ricardo feeling the need, I think, to teach you a lesson or signal.
Oh, lots of people are going to have double helpings of turkey to make
just to prove you wrong.
Just to prove me wrong. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
But actually, it's not, is it? Because please tell us, Ricardo. I will have turkey, pig, goat, octopus, codfish. I am a murderer, says Ricardo there. And these are the sort of standoffs as a vegan you get yourself in, aren't they? Well, you and other vegans tend to trigger this sort of reaction in people.
Yeah, there's 10 standard responses.
And is that one of them? Like, I'm going to just go for it and be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Call me a murderer. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, feel free to.
Yeah, we're carnivores. Look at these. Just like a lion.
You debunked that one quite recently, didn't you?
Just like a lion.
Yeah.
We look just
and not
like
to mention the claws, right?
Yeah. Go on.
I've trimmed mine, but
My dog went out and caught a cow. You know. just does my screaming. Just say you like eating it more than you love animals. That's it. That's the only honest answer.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. That's fair. That's honest, isn't it?
It is honest.
My habit, my tastes are greater than my care of animals. Yeah. Fair enough. No, I can take that. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the thing. So not trying to get into the commercial side of it. So we haven't put a tree up or anything like that. And I think one of my sons is getting cash and the other one is but yeah, listen to me. You distracted me from my moan. I like a good moan. Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'll try not to let that happen again.
Anyway, I got a bunch of Christmas cards sent from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
That were for me to send on to the UK, to write in and then send on to the UK. And they trapped him in customs. And maybe do the Dissol Fantango or whatever it's called to get him out of customs. And of course, I could have, you can download the form and say, look, they're Christmas cards. What are you talking about? They're exempt. They're
Yeah.
exempt from whatever that
Customs
fee
duty.
is, from
Duty.
customs duty.
Yes.
But all you got to do is add days to it, aren't you? You just got to add time to getting it. So
Yeah.
I clicked all through it. 15 euros. 15 fucking euros. So anyway, I paid the 15 euros. Paid the 15 euros, and then and they've got you another one now. These CTT scammers, right? It used to be you only had to pay. You only had to pay. Yeah, the Portuguese post office. You only had to pay that kind of extra money if you didn't do it online. Like, so if you booked to go to the pay shop, you had to pay, I think it's 7 euros or something. But now, even if you pick one of the other payment, you know, you go to the ATM. What's that called? What do they call that here? That, you know, where you go to the ATM and put the number in and pay.
MBWay.
MBWay, yeah. Even when you pick that now, you have to pay 7 euros for the privilege of paying. So they charge you 7 euros.
This is the top moment.
As a fee
yes.
for you to fucking pay. Do you know what I mean? Are they taking the piss?
Well, it just paying money doesn't cost nothing, you know. There's
electricity.
There's electricity.
There's gotta be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, I go and get, and of course, then the cards I didn't get the cards until Friday. So I've gone down and posted them. Yeah, I've gone down and posted them today. And I said, you better be putting them on a bloody fast plane. 15 bloody pissy quid I've paid for this. You know what I mean? Merry Christmas. Feliz Natal. Feliz Natal. Whatever.
Who were you saying this to? 15...
Just in my head. Just in my mind.
Oh, I see. Right.
This is the only. In real life, yes. No, not the problem. I understand. It's just a system. I'm a foreigner. You know, I have to just. Yeah. Don't worry about it. You know, my friends will be fine. My Christmas cards normally don't arrive until, you know, January the 20th. It'll be fine. Thank you.
So, there's a lot to unpack in there, and I
8 Christmas cards.
I hear 8, but really,
8 really,
€2 each, just for getting them into the country and then posting.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Why did you want traditional Hong Kong Christmas cards? Is that
there's a reason behind it, because we have family there and they write in Chinese and put stickers. It's a little tradition. It's a tradition. It's a tradition. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to know what she tried? At one point, she said, "Oh, I better be careful to write Christmas cards." Or
the lady in the CTT.
The lady in the CTT. Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, in Oliver at the hospital, right? Mm-hmm. We've got this shop called Mayo Mundo, and it's amazing, this place.
Yeah. Well, My World.
Mayo Mundo, right? Is it My World? Yeah. Have any of you guys ever seen Peppa Pig? Have you guys ever seen Peppa Pig, right? In Peppa Pig, there's a character called Miss...
the teacher.
No, Peppa Pig.
You're not going to say the woman in the shop looks like the lady in Peppa Pig, are you?
No. I forget her name now. What's her name? Miss Bunny. Yeah, Mrs. Bunny. That's her, Mrs. Bunny. No, Mrs. Rabbit. Yeah, Mrs. Rabbit, Miss Bunny. Mrs. Rabbit.
Peppa Pig. The best teacher ever. That hasn't happened yet.
Well, listen, Peppa Pig.
That's something to do, isn't it?
T-Duck's already thought of it.
No, T-Duck will let you have
that. I was trying to register the .com just then, but too late.
I'm sure he'll be happy to just have 20% on that.
So you haven't heard about Mrs. Rabbit from Peppa Pig?
Well, I've heard of her because I used to have it on in the background. Yeah, not for myself. And my children they've moved on from Peppa Pig, but yes, I do.
The first thing I will say is Daddy Pig is literally based on me. Yes. It's literally based on me. I am every stupid, crazy thing that happens to Daddy Pig in that has literally happened to me, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
He was based on me somehow. But Miss Rabbit, the funny thing about Miss Rabbit is everywhere they go in Peppa Pig, so they'll go to like the library, she's the librarian. They'll go to the ice cream stand, she's the one selling ice creams. They'll go on a helicopter ride, she's the helicopter pilot. When I went into Mayo Mundo, this place, because I live in a small town Portugal, you know what I'm saying? You go into Mayo Mundo, it's a newsagent, it's a CTT stand, it's an EDP.
They got everything. It's like a world. It's like a world.
But
yes,
only she works there. So you
she
literally
goes
go in.
around going to different places.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I mean,
fantastic.
the only way it would be better if she put a hat on, but there's like little stands. There's like a little stand and it says EDP.
Yeah.
So she'll go, she'll be there and she'll go, oh, how can I help? And you go, oh, I need some help with my electricity. She'll go, oh, wait a minute.
You'll need
And
to
go
speak to
and
the
she,
EDP lady about that.
she,
And then
she,
she
she,
goes, yes.
I want to say to her, you don't have to go stand there. I know it's you. I know it's you.
No, I think that adds some gravity to the situation. I
And
think
then,
she's a professional. She's clearly a
but
professional.
the worst thing is like today, right? Because what I had is 7 of the envelopes. Seven of the cards I was able to send to the same address because they're getting distributed to different family members, right? So I said, look, will it be cheaper for me to put them in that one of them envelopes? She said, yeah, good idea. So I'm standing there and she goes, oh, you have to go get it. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm standing at the CTT bit. So I only got the envelope. And I'm not, come on, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. I couldn't pay for it there.
No, you
I
have to go
couldn't
to
pay
the
for it there.
CTT desk.
I had to go to the other desk. And
Yes.
she walks over.
Yes.
She walks over and I pay there 60 cents
Right.
for that envelope. And then, no, I had to go to the newsagent desk to buy that
Oh,
envelope.
okay, yeah. No,
And
fair enough.
then, now I've got it. Now I have to take it back.
Yes.
To the CTT
Did she ask to see the receipt? That would be really brilliant.
I wish she'd asked to see the receipt.
Yes,
I would have laughed.
Sometimes we have people come in with their own envelopes. I just need to make sure you bought it here.
Yeah.
That would be
Oh,
superb.
God,
Anyway.
I wish she'd have said that.
Well, I hope nobody's watching who's getting one of those Christmas cards. Well, in a way, I hope they are watching and they'll realise the trouble you've gone to with that. So well done.
Because you know the problem. You know the problem. Because I kept thinking today, should I tell my friends that their Christmas card is going to be late? You know what I mean? How sad would that be? Like, should I tell my friends, listen, I just want to tell you that I haven't forgotten you.
Well, that's a bit of a virtue signal, isn't it?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, yeah.
See what I mean? Or do I just like let it slide because everything's cool, right? And then if my auntie never speaks to me again, is it because
of that Christmas card business?
Yeah.
What a complex world and mind you have. And it only took about 10 minutes to have that little moan. So well done. Do you feel complete now?
Well, I don't know. Did everyone appreciate the story? Did you hear that kind of passive aggressive tone
that sometimes emanates from you? Yes. All of us.
From me?
Well, who else? God.
What are you talking about?
Well, I wasn't moaning. It was you that was moaning.
Hey. That moaning was just like scaffolding for me to tell my story about Mrs. Rabbit.
Is this like an NLP? This is an NLP loop then? This is a really brilliant bit of storytelling, basically.
Yeah. Everyone else got the bit about Mrs. Rabbit.
I'm not sure if that's true. There was a British children's TV show where, was it Derek Griffiths? Did we talk about him before? He was the commissioner at the cinema. Then he sold the tickets. Then he sold the popcorn. And then he showed you to your seat. And then he went and put the film on. It's that kind of thing, but in real life, isn't it?
That's her. That's what she does. Yeah, that's what she does.
Okay.
And the other thing, when she's at the CTT desk, she can speak English. So when she gets to the EDP, forget it. All bets are off at the EDP desk. You're not going to get anywhere at the EDP
what
desk.
I want to happen in this place, and apparently there was nothing passive about that. Says Ramiro Borges. Yeah, to be fair, you're right, absolutely right. Nothing passive, it's just aggressive. But I want you to be in there one day, and you've got several chores to do on 3 of the different counters. And then you get to the 3rd one, and she shuts for lunch just as you get there. Because that could happen. That could actually happen.
It could happen. Yeah.
Can you come back Can you come back in 2.5 hours, please? I'm just closing for lunch.
The other thing that could happen is I could get there and it turns out they're 3 sisters or something.
That's true. Or you complain to the you say, "Can I see the manager? This is ridiculous."
And that's her as well.
Yeah, she just says, "Can you come over to the management desk where I've got the complaints book?" And then you sit down together over there. Escalated to the same person.
Oh my God. Well, right. Just
look at this. Talking of prepping for the apocalypse, Santa has been very good to me. A 3.5 kilowatt Honda generator, 2 head torches, and best one, a chocolate selection box. I can't think of a better way to sit through the end of the world than like that, right? You can see the chocolates. You've got a little bit of light from the Jenny. which is I think what you preppers call the generator,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Very
Right, for
good.
the Jenny. The Jenny.
Yeah.
No one says generator.
No, okay. Only obvious non-preppers like myself.
Only
Hopefully,
noobs. Only noobs.
noobs. The
Yeah,
muggles.
coastal city types.
Yes. Yeah. Who just think everything's going to be fine, man.
Yeah.
That's me, isn't it? That's
I trust the government, man. The
no.
government's going to help.
Hold on a minute. No, I had that thought today.
Don't look at the news, man.
I was
Everything's going to be
sat
all
in the
right.
park, and I had this
Just
thought.
ignore it. Just ignore it.
No, no, stop it, because we still have Christmas to speak about. And I was thinking today, isn't there a beautiful irony in how people are obviously mostly upset with the government, whichever one it is, even their own choice. Eventually, they get peed off with, and they want a change, and yet leave every important life choice to those very same people. How on earth is that occurring or continuing to occur? That mind trick, that Jedi mind trick played by the government on all of us.
It's the Matrix,
bizarre, isn't it?
It's the Matrix.
It's a Matrix. Okay.
It's the Matrix. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate all these politicians and government. Okay. Tell me what to do now, please, with my health, with my education, with my children's education,
Yeah,
with
it's
the
funny,
air
isn't
quality,
it? It's
with
funny.
food. Everything. Tell me what to do about those things. Now that I've stated I can't stand you one little bit. It's amazing, isn't it? How did that happen? It's just what we were born into, wasn't it? Right. True spirit of Christmas. This is not it, Tony. Moaning and whinging about life in small town Portugal is not it.
Does anyone want to know what the worst present I ever got was?
Go on, and I'll share my best.
I'm going to try and not turn this into a rant because it was a long time ago, and I've forgiven my mum. Okay. I wanted a remote control car. All my friends were getting remote control. This was a thing.
An RC. They're called RCs, aren't they?
Everyone was getting a remote control car, and I wanted a Lamborghini. You know, Lamborghinis. You own one, right?
I know what a Lamborghini is. Yes, yeah.
I think he's got one in the drive. He's got one in the drive. Everybody. Yeah. But anyway, I wanted
remote control one,
and I showed my mum silver Lamborghini remote control car. Yes, please. Okay. And she was like, "Well, we'll see what Santa brings you." You know.
Classic.
Anyway, I get up Christmas morning, bang, I can see the box is the right shape, bang, 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 open it, silver Lamborghini, and open it. So where's the remote control? And it was this weird thing where you open up like a little hatch at the bottom and you put in like this yellow plastic thing, and one of them would make it go around in circles. Yeah. One of them would make it do a figure of 8. Yeah. The other one would make it do a straight line, and that was it. She got the wrong toy. Yes, she got the wrong toy.
I feel a bit sad now because I see how this happens.
Meanwhile, I went outside, right, and my friend Rocco, and
where were you living?
This must have been in Australia.
Italy. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
bear with us while Tony tries to remember.
It doesn't matter. My friend Rocco. I remember my friend Rocco had like this.
You had a little neighbour called Rocco. I was wondering where this. I mean, that sounds like an Australian sort of abbreviation of a longer name, like Robert, doesn't it? Rocco.
Yeah, no, it was Rocco. It was Italian. Rocco Simonetti. Simonetti.
Definitely was.
His brother Marcello and his older brother Augustus.
Wow.
Yeah, and his dad Vincento and his mum Caterina.
Very nice.
So they were definitely Italian. I was like an honorary Italian when I was a kid. I knocked around loads of Italian kids.
That's probably why you wanted a Lamborghini.
That's probably why I wanted a Lamborghini. But so I went outside and they're like, "Wow, look at that!" They had Rocco had like the four-wheel drive. He's like, "Wow, look at this! Awesome! Where's yours?" And I'm like, "Shut up!" But yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel that.
And you can't say anything. You can't say, even at that age. I mean, nowadays kids would just be like, "What's this?" Wow, angry. But I was still of that. I'm of that vintage where we wouldn't say that to our parents. You know what I mean?
What, for fear of
violence. Yeah. It wasn't because I was a nice kid.
Oh, okay. Just trying to find out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I remember just being like gutted.
Oh, what does JMC mean? Another porn actor, Rocco Siffredi, like as in Tony Bryant and Rocco Siffredi, another porn actor.
But the best present I ever got,
Crimbo. Yes, go on.
Was a Casio VL2. 20 synthesizer.
Not the little VL tone, not the what? Da,
The
da,
VL
da,
tone. Yeah, that's it.
one of
I had
those.
the original. Yeah, I had the original VL tone. Da da da.
Yes, I had one of those. It was only this big, wasn't it?
Da, da. Oh, it was awesome. Oh,
I
mine was
wrote a little
bigger than
tune on it.
yours.
I
Mine was,
multi-tracked.
mine was bigger
Yeah.
than yours, Carl.
It's
Mine was
possible. It's
VL.
possible.
No, yeah, I had the VL tone. I had the
Unlikely,
VL tone.
but possible. Okay.
Yeah.
Loved me Crimbo.
Classic.
Okay. Okay. All right. So my one of my favorite presents, which is proudly, and I do feel for your situation and your mum. It reminded, actually, I don't want to go into sad stories about Christmas particularly, but I do feel the pain of that, and it brings up other childhood memories for me as well.
Yeah.
On this very special, festive, and upbeat Christmas special of
Can I just say something? If I say something very quickly, am I going to make you lose your train of thought?
Let's see what happens.
Right. I was at Toys R Us in Hong Kong, right?
Yes.
And I overheard this conversation.
Yeah.
There was a woman and she was buying presents for her grandchildren, right? And she said, I've lost my train of thought now, but I can't remember exactly I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like this. She was buying a PS1, a PS. You know what I mean by a PlayStation, right?
PlayStation, yeah.
And I can't remember
what
exactly.
you mean by a PlayStation. Christ. Yes.
Well, you're a bit older than me. You're a bit older than me.
I know what a PlayStation is. For goodness sakes.
But it was like she was saying, right, well, I've got two grandsons. So she said, what I'll do, I don't want to buy them the same thing. So I'll get one the PS3 and I'll get the other one the PS2. And I was like, nah.
It doesn't work like that.
No. Trust me, this is a bad idea. But the problem is, I said this in my head and played it out in my head, and then left the store asking my family, should I have said something? And it was mixed opinion. So for all I know, these two kids got up on Christmas Day, and one opened it and had a PS3, and the other one opened his and had a PS2.
Wow. Okay, and they might be watching.
Can you imagine?
That would be
similar level of devastation, I'd have thought.
Yes.
To the Lamborghini.
Okay, well, I haven't lost my train of thought.
Go on then.
One of the best.
I tried, everybody. I tried.
So
anyway,
you'll love this. You'll
make yourself a cup of tea or something.
Carl's turn. About bloody time. Anyway, so this is a scenario for me. I am Christmasing with my mother and stepfather, and what my dad used to do is send me a load of Christmas presents. Right, so he wouldn't obviously be in the house. He would just be sending me a massive load of Christmas presents from sometimes. I think not always, but on a good year there'll be a pile of. If he had some money. And he got his act together, and maybe one of his girlfriends helped him. I would get a big pile of presents. It might have been the first Christmas after they split up, and I was with my stepdad. There's a lot of psychotherapeutic content in these shows of ours, isn't there? And hopefully, it helps other people work through their difficulties.
I hope so. Right? I hope we're not triggering people.
Well, we might be, and I think the only right thing to do is to be available. And listen.
Trigger warnings. Trigger warnings.
We need to do that. Do you think? I didn't know I was going to be. I knew I was going to be telling you about the best present part, but I didn't know I was going to be doing the somewhat poignant backstory. Anyway, as it turns out, one of the presents, which wasn't from
train of thought.
This is from my stepfather, and he gave me a what would they be called? A girly calendar, and by that I do not mean Kath Kidston. Yeah, I mean semi-naked girl.
Oh, right. A girly.
Yeah. Because that's what girly meant in the 70s. Like
I remember. A
girly magazine would be a pornographic magazine, wouldn't it? Yeah. And this is what my stepfather gave me with my mother's kind of blessing, I suppose. I must have been about 11, I think. And I got this massive pile of. I've got a photograph of I was going to say of the booty, which also has changed its meaning since the 1970s, isn't it? But I mean the booty in the piratical sense. I was surrounded by Christmas gifts. An Arnold Palmer golf game, a Manchester United towel, because my dad wanted to foster an interest in football, which I didn't really have, but I quite like the towel anyway. And pride of place is this erotic calendar that companies used to give out. My stepfather was a sales representative. He bagged me one of the calendars that he would be giving to his clients. Now, I loved it because I was 11 and I thought, yeah, this is cool. This is ladies, semi-clad ladies, which I was developing an interest or fascination in. And it just, can you imagine the furore? That'd be a GB News story, wouldn't it, right now?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny days. I do remember. Anyone who's probably any younger than us wouldn't recognize that going into an office or a workplace and seeing
mechanics.
Pictures of
I had
people smoking.
A significant woman in my life actually asked the mechanic if he would consider taking down the girly calendars because she found them offensive.
Wow.
Which I think is quite brave, isn't it? And that would have been in the 80s as well. She was ahead of her time. She would have been. Oh well, she wouldn't need to do it now, would she? No such thing would exist. But this too is not the spirit of Christmas, is it?
No. Yeah, I was gonna go into why I'm always confused about it, because I want to say if I went into a hairdressing salon and they had pictures of half naked men, I wouldn't say, can you take that down? I'm offended. You wouldn't say that.
But I would say, I've got a picture of me semi-naked. Would you like it for the wall in here?
I would just go in semi-naked. Or completely naked. No, but the thing is, what was that? Are you saying that's a joke? That made you laugh?
Sorry, was that not a joke? I beg your pardon.
No, but
I do have other. No, that's better, isn't it? Tony enters the ladies' hairdressers naked.
But I understand that the reason that I wouldn't want those pictures taken down is to do with my privilege or something. But I don't get it. But I understand that there's something different. Like, it's okay for women to put up half naked pictures of men, and I don't have the right to be offended for some reason.
You're okay with that?
I kind of don't care. I'm just saying it because
if you were made to care, to care, you'd struggle.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm kind of like, I don't understand.
Oh look, we've lost T-Duck now. I think with all these Christmas sad stories, got to run. Pepe Pig is starting on another channel. We've lost out to Pepe Pig.
T-Duck, what was your best present? Yeah, listen, I haven't even started to tell you guys about the true meaning of some Christmas carols. I've got some interesting, like, little, bits of knowledge to share with you guys.
What are you waiting for? This is not a rehearsal. This is the actual show.
Oh my God. What I'm interested in, guys, is does everyone know the 12
days of Christmas?
The 12 days of Christmas.
Does everyone know?
I saw a joke the other day that went like this. God, that guy must have been really happy on the 5th day when he got the rings. And this was a meme floating around. Yeah, because what did he get? On the 1st day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. On the 2nd day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2
gold
other kinds
rings.
of birds. 2 other kinds of birds.
2 French hens. 2 French hens. 2
French hens. 3
turtle doves.
3 turtle doves. 4
calling birds.
4 collie birds.
Not calling birds. Collie birds, all right.
Collie birds is an example of a misheard Christmas lyric. And then 5 golden rings.
4 calling birds, 3
French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. Okay, but the thing about it, the meme was saying he must have been well happy when on the 5th day when he finally got some gold rings instead of these bloody birds, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And what I realized was that people don't know that every single thing in that song is a bird.
What, a golden ring?
All 12 of the things. Yeah, golden rings. That's a kind of bird.
A maid
They're
of milk.
Birds. Yeah.
Milking maids are not birds.
They're birds. Every single thing in that song is a bird.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you for that.
Fact check me, Munson.
Okay. Oh no,
they're all birds.
I'm happy to go with it. I'm happy to go with it.
They're all birds. Right. Another one I wanted to tell you guys a little fact. Who did anyone else know that?
It's really beginning to feel a lot like Christmas now. Thank you for that.
Did anyone else know that? Everything in the 12 everything in the 12 days of Christmas
This is our
is
job,
a bird.
KMC.
is a
As it
bird.
is.
James said, I've got to make like 50 cents in this hour.
Yeah, that's
Well,
right. He
let's
doesn't.
check.
He doesn't really care what he says as long as he keeps going. That's the main. That's the main
Just
thing.
keep
Isn't it?
going.
Yeah,
Just
keep going. Keep going.
So yeah, did anyone else know that everything that comes up in the 12 days of Christmas is a bird, including the Lords of Leaping,
Right.
5
Okay.
golden rings.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that milking maids were kinds of birds, or that. Is there a further punchline to this? Are you wanting me to say?
That's it. This is just banter, pre-Christmas banter. I just want to know if anyone else knew that. And then the other thing is a lot of people's favorite.
It's actually
Christmas
turning into
song.
bullying now. There's a thin line between banter and bullying, and I'm feeling bullied now by this.
A lot of people. A lot of people's favorite Christmas song is Jingle Bells, right?
Yes.
Jingle Bells, dashing through the snow in a
One
one-horse open sleigh. All the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha ha ha!
Yeah, I like that bit. Yeah.
Bells on
Take your
bobtails
stockings
ring.
off and hang them in a row. Then jump quickly into bed and it's off to sleep we go. Hey! Off we go.
And what I was wondering is if people know that song is not a Christmas song.
Right. Okay.
It's actually
incredible material. Right. I'm just too stunned. I'm just too stunned after the last revelation, Tony, to take on board another one.
It's
you haven't got a third one, have you?
No, I haven't, unfortunately. But I just wanted everyone. Did anyone? I'm just curious if I'm the only person who knows this stuff. I'm trying to share knowledge, Munson.
All right.
I'm trying to share knowledge.
Oh, come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant.
Uh-huh.
That is not a Christmas song either.
Is it not?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
What am I? No, but it doesn't say anything about Christmas, and it does it.
Yeah, of course it does. I think in the verses. Anyway,
go on then.
I'll look that up. I'm still not sure if I've never seen a milking maid bird, I mean, dancing lady maybe, but I've never seen a milking maid bird.
Right.
Whatever that would
the 12 days.
But I don't want to fight you about it either. That's the other thing. Hi, crypto strategists. Move to Monday again. Yes, sorry about that. Fire's Carl in the kitchen. It's a long story, and it might actually be a very authentic green screen backdrop there. If I go and try and move one of those bottles of olive oil, they might not actually be real crypto strategists. I'm going to leave that hanging there and leave you guessing. Right, Little Town of Bethlehem. See, that's not a Christmas carol either, is it? That's just it's a song. It's a tourism.
Seven swans are swimming. 8 maids are milking. It's a kind of a play on. It's a play on words about a bird called a cattle egret.
Okay. This is such rich content. I mean, this is going to make somebody's Christmas. Imagine yourself in an awkward situation. You'll be able to pull this out of nowhere. And
listen to this. Listen to this. This is for the men. This is for the men. Yes. You're on a first date. You know, you get stuck for something to say.
Oh dear, that was a bad start. This is for the men. Nobody said this is for the men for about 15 years, Tony. But go on, let's bring that back into public circulation. This is for
the men. You're on a first date.
The fellas.
This is for the
fellas. Right. Okay.
Yeah. And you get stuck. You don't know what to say. You're trying to be cool. You're trying to be cool
at Christmas time.
Well, and you can say something like, "Well, you can say this anytime. You can say, hey, you know that song, the 12 Days of Christmas."
Yes.
All 12 of them are
really about Christmas.
All 12 of them are birds.
Oh, so yeah, it is about Christmas.
She's gonna be like, oh my god! And
he's so smart.
That was when I was his.
When did you fall in love with this guy?
Well. Then he told me that Jingle Bells is actually a Thanksgiving song.
All right. Okay.
He had all this knowledge.
And you'll be invited to the wedding, won't you? Because you're the guy who primed him and made him look
best. I'm the best man. The best man.
Very good. Yes. Would you do me the honor, Tony? If not for you, I would not be marrying this fabulous woman. who I regaled with the Days of Christmas anecdote. Wow.
9 ladies dancing. It's after
We believe you. It's okay. We can move on. It's safe to move on. It really is.
Corex Carbo, the dancing cormorant, which looks quite ladylike when it's dancing.
Okay. I know what you've done here. I actually know what you've done. I'm going to tell a lie, ChatGPT. Can you make it sound convincing with a backstory? Is that what you're doing here?
No, I'm honestly not doing that. But that's
a new level.
What was that TV show where they used to do that game? It was like, am I telling a lie or is it truth?
Would I lie to you? Would I lie to you?
Would I lie to you? Oh,
yes.
Yeah, can't believe they gave it that name. So forgettable.
Yes. Well, now with ChatGPT, I mean, now with everything, it's that this what was going to be is Christmas special. Christmas special has actually been very depressing in many parts.
Now, how much would it cost nowadays for those gifts? Now, the thing about that question is, it's there's not an easy answer to that because I don't know if you're saying that. Well, let's hear. What do you mean by that?
5 gold rings.
Well, because for example, I would imagine that a remote control car nowadays is a lot cheaper than when I was a kid.
Are we talking about our presents and my girly calendar? They were given away for free back in the day. So my stepfather did very well with that. But do you mean the Days of Christmas birds? Because the other thing about that is that's not the sort of thing you could go and buy down at Tesco's, especially at the moment. I hear a lot of empty shelves around in certain parts of the UK. And you go in and try and buy that little lot. It's not going to be happening, is it? But you could hazard a guess at how much those would cost. Okay, the true spirit of Christmas, I don't think we've got anywhere near that, quite frankly. And do you know what I think that means? Is it's a kind of reflection. It's a dark and somewhat sad reflection of how far away we've come from the true spirit of Christmas, that we've struggled so much to answer that question.
Well, maybe the crypto strategist is going to answer the question because he's saying he got an airdrop for Christmas today. But what is an airdrop? Is that like a breath mint?
It sounds something like my dad would say. I'm just going outside for an airdrop. I'll be back. Tell your mum. Tell your mum I've just gone outside for an airdrop. And a gentleman would do that. Probably the best gift I will get, but not the other people in the lift.
That just reminds me of some good advice for all the youngsters. I'm not going to say the young men. I don't want to get in trouble again. But if someone ever offers you a mint,
yes,
then take it. Just take the mint. Okay.
What do you mean?
If they offer it to you, well, it means you got bad breath.
You need this.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone ever just randomly offers you a mint, just accept it.
I'm in the street. Your breath is so bad. That somebody 10 minutes up the road could smell it.
Someone offered me a bar of soap the other day.
Happy Christmas on a rope, I hope. Right, okay. I know old dabbles in the dark. I don't know. I don't know what an airdrop is. I really don't.
I don't know. Isn't that when someone sends a picture of their
no, that's a different drop.
They're winkled to you. Uninvited.
An airdrop is free.
An uninvited winkle.
You get because I just realized that this is going out on my personal timeline. That's probably better than Good Morning Portugal. An airdrop is free coins that you get. Okay, all right. So you got a dividend, basically, free money. Well, nice one. That's good for you.
Good. Free money,
and not exactly what I thought it was. As in my dad saying, I'm just going outside to airdrop, which was a free gift for everybody else in the neighborhood. Not that they were appreciated it very much. Right, Tony, we've only got a few minutes to go to our official stop time. We might stay on a little bit longer, right? Because we have really struggled. And I feel a bit...
Well, no, but where are our... Look, nobody's given... Why aren't people helping us?
I don't know.
I've asked the questions. What are your favorite?
Are you not entertained?
What are your favorite? Yeah, what more can we do? What more can we do?
We've sung. We've been lewd. We've taken you back a few decades. We've done quite a lot in this short space of time.
Trivia.
Yeah.
Dating advice.
Yeah, mints and trivia. In fact, do you know what? With one of those AI programs that turns a podcast into a book, we could turn this into a free or even premium.
And airdrop it. And we can airdrop it to crypto.
Yeah, but like a dating.
With pictures, along with photos of
belly buttons. Okay. An airdrop. That's not a belly button. An airdrop. Okay, sorry. Free money. got that. Okay. Um,
No,
and
the
Tony,
heating is not
Tony
on.
hasn't even been drinking. He doesn't drink.
The heating is not on. No.
Okay.
Well spotted.
I just like this scarf. I'm not actually cold, but I just really like this scarf. Right. Okay. I'm not sure we've done this justice. Let's try a few more of these questions. Was Christmas better when we were kids? From your story and my story, I don't know. We're not at the mercy of parents, are we, anymore? Which would be one way.
I'll tell you a random. This is going to sound a bit nerdy, but another gift that I always remember getting that I really appreciated was the It was a book that, you know, you got those books that had like best of, so it had like
An
10
annual.
but it was H.G. Wells.
Right. The
And
best of H.G. Wells.
it probably wasn't called the best of H.G. Wells, right? It probably wasn't called that.
I hope not.
But you know what I mean? It had like about 10 of his stories. I'd never read any of his stories, but I must have only been about maybe 10 or 11.
Oh,
but
like
I remember,
a boy's compendium of some of his short stories.
I mean, it was it was all of the books. I mean, it had War of the Worlds, The Time Machine, and I read that. It must have been, you know, well over 1,000 pages, and it was also word, kind of new words to me, so it really opened my
vocabulary.
Yeah. You can hear, right? The effect. You can hear the effect of that on me, Governor. No, but you know what I mean. It was really, really interesting, and I really love those.
There you go. It was the greatest hits of
yeah, those books were good.
I remember. Yeah, and then you would get.
Good.
There were a number of books that you could have possibly been bought at Christmas. The Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah.
A compendium book like the sort of which we're talking about. Annuals. Do you remember annuals? So you Whizzer and Chip, or Beano, or whatever your favorite comics would have an annual. Or Looking.
Boys that Reader's Digest annuals, those kind of things.
I hope your parents didn't give you a Reader's Digest annual. They were
no, I used to nick them from the doctors. That was different.
National Geographic. I want to give them to your parents for Christmas. Very thoughtful, Tony. Very, very thoughtful. Oh, look, it's collectible as well. It's from 1952. That's fantastic. The lighter side of life in Reader's Digest. Yeah, well, I don't think many kids are getting those this year, are they?
Hey, but I tell you what, he wrote a good book, did H.G. Wells.
Hold on a minute, go on. Yes.
No, that's it. No, but I was thinking because
sorry. I was hovering. Right. Okay.
He was quite a visionary, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
But there was have you read any of his books?
No. I'm not a very big reader.
To be honest, I'm not now. But when I was a kid, I read quite a few books, and my mum used to buy me a lot of books. It was something I could always get. She wasn't very good at buying. They were
precious. They were precious, weren't they?
Toys and sweet, but she always buy me a book. So I had loads and loads of books, and I've read because of her. I'm quite well read at that age, you know.
Well, not all kids who were bought books read them, though. Of course, did they?
Yeah, I was like, I could read, you know. I could read.
Well, I don't mean for that reason. They just didn't want to. It was like, oh, a boring present.
Yeah,
that goes on the boring present pile, which you struggle to write a thank you letter for.
I've never understood that, because the funny thing is now I don't like to read because I haven't got I can't focus my attention so much these days. You may have noticed.
I have, yes, I have noticed that. All right.
But when I was young, I could read very quickly. That was the thing. I can read a book very quick. I'm one of those people. I can read a novel in one sitting in a couple of hours.
Right. Okay.
And I can also read multiple books at the same time.
At the same time, I mean, like playing several games of chess.
Okay. Literally.
Well, you can hold two books up and read them at the same time.
Yeah, I do get a bit. It does get a bit confusing, though.
That's almost a circus act, isn't it? See the man reading two books at the same time. I'm loving these memories. This is really good. I got a huge book for Christmas once called The Chronicle of the 20th Century. I adored that book. And I think this might be bringing back a few memories. Books and clothes for Christmas. The nightmare of nearly every child, right? And a new flannel for the year.
Yeah. Well, I had it's a stereotype, isn't it? But my grandma used to knit. And I had that where she would knit me these awful bloody things, you know, and they were itchy. They're
Right.
scratchy, and I had to wear them. Like whenever we were going to grandma's house, and my mum would be like, It's like a meme, isn't it? But it really happened to me, and I think it happened to all
It
kids
never
from
did you
those
any
days.
harm, though. It never did you any harm, did it? Let's be fair.
Well,
Right.
no, but it's wearing these bloody itchy jumpers. Oh, thanks for my jumper, Grandma. Yeah, it was cool. It is cool. Yeah, you got it. This, good because she's seen it in some magazine. Oh,
Yeah.
your kids will love
And
this. It's cool.
she'd been working on it. Again, you wouldn't dare say you didn't like it, would you? She'd been
Mm.
knitting it for flipping it. Unless,
Oh
of
my God.
course, you see, I was saying to Mrs. M today when we were out doing a bit of last minute or just pre-last minute shopping, I was saying to her that, our parents who seem to have it all figured out were just as panicked as we probably are and unrestful about this whole thing. And this is, unless, of course, the grandmas weren't actually knitting those things, and they bought them in the equivalent of a Chinese shop back in their day. Do you know what I mean? The story we have is
Or they got together and were like, God,
that little
what can
bastard
we
Tony
do? What can we do? What can we do to make their
make
life
his life a
miserable?
misery for 2 months.
Yeah.
Maybe we might be onto something here. I'm not sure I can take any more of this. We've not discovered the true meaning of spirit of Christmas, and now
But I get it. I've always said this to people. I remember when my first son was born, and it was a little bit like the Christmas Story. Because he was
oh, I've swallowed it now. It's gone. But that should I be hovering? Hold on a minute.
It was a miracle.
No, what?
No, but you know what it was?
I'm not sure how it happened.
No, but I tell you, this is true. See, this sounds like a joke, guys, but this is serious stuff.
I'm getting ready to press the end of show button. I thought that's what was happening now.
We were living in Denmark at the time, right? And even though I was obviously an EU citizen in those days, back when before England floated away from Europe, they rejected my wife's application for residency.
Sorry, I feel
and
bad.
She was due, and this was a couple of days. Well, it all worked out, but this was a couple of days before Christmas, and she was due to give birth on Christmas Day. Wow. And we'd already decided to call our firstborn son Christian.
Yeah.
And we'd chosen that name because we wanted a name that was kind of a solid European name that could be, it's a universal European name, right? Like every country has this name. So
yes,
that was sort of, we went for that, and we both liked the name. And anyway, it was just a couple of days before Christmas, and April was ready to burst any day, and we got a knock on the door, and it was the Danish police, and they came in, and they sat down, and they took my wife's passport and stamped in it, visa rejected. You've got 7 days to leave the country.
No way. That's the level of service. It's not IMA then, is it?
Yeah, and to be fair, I've never seen two police officers look. I couldn't even be angry. I was like beyond. It was beyond any of that.
So,
You know what I mean? It was just like I was working there. We'd been living there for, I think, 9 or 10 months. It was like we had an apartment, we had a car, we had. It almost sounds silly to say it. We had like furniture and a life.
You had your life figured out.
We lived there. You know what I mean? And it was like without warning, and they just said, "Oh, we just don't see that she's going to integrate into Danish life or something." And it was crazy because it was one of them things where if you had the money, you'd fight it, because actually they didn't have the right to say that, because I was an EU citizen and she was
right.
Blah blah blah. But anyway, so we had to make the decision, and I remember thinking, God, what are we going to do? And I thought, right, well, I've got to keep working because I can't lose my job now. We're having a baby.
Yep.
So I spoke to a Danish friend of mine, and he said, try and find somewhere to live in Malmö, in Sweden, and then you can come over the bridge until you sort yourself out, work over there, or figure out what to do. so anyway, I phoned around and I ended up finding this place in Lund, near Lund, in a little town called Etzlev. And it was like I didn't realize, but it was very difficult to find accommodation, especially around Christmas time. And
Right. And the King of Denmark was the King of Denmark sending his soldiers out to look for.
But finally we found this place, and it was kind of like a I wouldn't say a Christian commune, but it was like
Right, okay, yeah.
this couple who were a Christian, and they'd set up this kind of house. It was kind of like more like student housing and stuff like that. And anyway, they said, yeah, we think we can find you a room. So we, because there was no room at the inn. There was no room at the inn.
Yes.
And yeah, so we found.
I am getting the parallels. You don't.
Yeah. So next thing you know, we got our little Kia with this little tiny Kia, and it was like, and then Christian came. He started coming on Christmas Day.
Fantastic.
But then it took a long, you know what I mean? It was a struggle, having a C-section. And then he was born, and then we had to go. So it was like, it was crazy. He was a newborn baby, and we got in the Kia and we drove across the Öresund Bridge into Sweden, and that was that. But what I always remember, the funny thing I always remember about the story, in the midst of all that chaos and just like, what the hell is going on here? And I'm no stranger to chaos.
You surprised me.
I'm no stranger to chaos, but this was kind of next level.
Next level, yeah.
Next level chaos. And of course, I don't know. I also do have a little bit of a stupid level of pride,
Right.
At any moment, I could have. There's probably at least half a dozen people I could have called who would have swarmed in and sorted things out. But I was like, no, I'm going to sort this out by myself. But what I really remember was, because when Christian was born, because it was a C-section, so mummy was unconscious, so I had him in my hands straight away.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a little, and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? And then it was like within 48 hours, we were on our way home. And I was walking out and I was thinking, how are they letting us out with this thing? There's no manual. I think every parent's had that feeling, haven't they? Where you think, I haven't got, there's no documents. Yes. I mean, when you buy a washing machine, you get a manual. Maybe you don't read it.
It's there if you want it.
Yeah, so it must be like that for every parent, I think, where you just think, oh, I really don't know. So all you do all the time is you kind of like, you think, right, this is what my parents did that worked. This is what my parents did that didn't work. So I'm going to try. So there's just multiple combinations going down the generations, isn't there? This is what my friends' parents did that I think was good.
Yeah.
And then there's kind of random pressures that come at you that you didn't expect, and you have to kind of just deal with them and wing it on the way.
Like deportation, that sort of thing.
Yeah, like getting deported to another country.
Yes.
That kind of thing. Yeah. So anyway, that's the true meaning of Christmas. Think about that.
No, I have been, and that brings a sense of expansion. It's like poetic, because it's a human drama, which is the Christ story, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think you've nailed it there. And we hadn't talked about this at all, but that's very beautiful. That pulling that out of nowhere, from your own real and personal experience, that it is that incredible paradox of the very human reality and all that can possibly be difficult and challenging in the real world, the cold, dark world into which these little beings, all of us, are born. It's not, we were babies once as well, of course, and the great hope, the great potential, the Christ principle, or the whole possibility of Christ-like being. And those two things, if not at this time of year, then when might you consider those two things in the same sentence, period of time, or day? If only for a day, that might be it, mightn't it? The 25th of December.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people, when they think about the nativity, they don't really consider that side of it. You know, it's easy to get caught up in there because the story's kind of a bit weird, and but thinking about the situation, whatever
Well, I
your
think you
belief is,
conveyed it beautifully.
yeah,
The very real and human struggle
yeah,
of
exactly,
two parents, and
yeah,
clearly of
very young, very
yes, very
young,
young. The whole sort
yeah,
of idea of a virgin birth. She didn't know. She knew she was ordained to do it, but didn't know necessarily what to do because no mother does apart from her instincts and trust,
mm,
presumably.
yeah,
And then from that really prosaic, real, grounded, visceral beginning, the whole divine potential of us as well as we see embodied and presented and well predicted, ordained, or put forth by the idea of Christ as a story, as a potential, as an archetype. From
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
from the most humble and difficult beginnings to the greatest possible human potential in one story. How about that?
There you go. The meaning of Christmas.
Yes, yes, right. Are you saying Geezer is delivering? Well, of course we are, and then we took this moment to announce it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think we've not overplayed it. I don't think it's not been pompous
yeah,
or arrogant in any way. You just put it out there, really.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's part of the magic of Christmas.
And majesty that you are. Yeah, yes.
Uh,
So, yes, JMC, obviously. So, did anything else happen to you in this run up to
well, no,
Christmas?
I was just gonna say something generally about the magic of Christmas, and I just wanted to remind people that when you get up on Christmas, when you get up on Christmas morning,
Yeah. Mm.
and your stocking is full,
So
and you
let me just run this past you. I'm getting up on Christmas morning, and my stocking is
yeah,
full. Yeah,
and your stocking is full, and you're thinking, how did that happen?
and I'm
Well, it's
wondering,
because
yeah.
it's because
How did that happen, Tony?
It's because Santa came down your chimney.
No, I got no. Sorry. Now, ordinarily, I would press the head.
And filled your stockings.
Oh dear. We've gone from considering and being like absolutely wide open with wide-eyed wonder at the Christ story to what was that? That's like a 70s pantomime gag.
I thought you were queuing me up. I thought you were queuing me up
I was queuing you up. I just couldn't. I felt like I couldn't let it go at that point there.
Well, I've only got one more, and it's got nothing to do with Christmas.
All right, never mind. Let's go as if it's not Christmas then. So, Tony, anything else interesting happened to you this week? Then,
Well, it didn't happen to me, but over the weekend there was a man who rushed into the emergency room in Crimbo with 10 plastic horses stuck up his
so
bum.
this guy was rushed into Coimbra Hospital with 10 plastic horses. Why, Tony?
Well, I don't know why, but apparently he's in stable condition.
Munson and The Geeza. Munson and The Geeza. Reporting from the scene. Munson and The Geeza. News in every ride.